Well, we ate to lose 20 pounds in a month. Now, at the Step It Up program, we don't recommend losing 20 pounds in a month, but from time to time, it happens. And it is so exciting when it does, especially when you're on a weight loss journey. For me, it's always about detoxification. And I mean detoxification from a restorative perspective, not a depleting perspective. If you want to learn more about that, please comment below.
Another thing about losing 20 pounds in a month is if you're doing it the way we're going to talk to you about, it's not going to come back. Something that happens when you lose a lot of weight really fast is it'll come right back on. So we're going to share with you how we did this in a way that we kept the weight off and kept losing after. Well, I want to ask you, there are so many things that we've tried. I'm curious what foods we're really going to be talking about today.
Well, the way that I lost 20 pounds in a month was through a commitment. Like every year at spring and every year in autumn, I do a cleanse. And it's not like a water fast or a juice fast, but it is a new awareness around levels of satiation. And this is like my personal practice. And a focus, of course, on whole foods, but the strategic use of whole foods for the restoration of my liver, my kidneys, my cognitive health, and my large intestine. And so I'm looking at using herbs and vegetables and combinations thereof at different times of day to different levels and degrees of satiation in order for my body to do its cleanup work and then to optimize my immune functioning, my cellular health, and my detoxification pathways. And of course, I add in a ton of lifestyle therapies to address the skin and to facilitate the detoxification pathways through perspiration, urination, and defecation. But that might not make sense to anyone.
I think what would be really great is if you could give some examples of some meals.
Yeah, like let's just get really practical, Mom. Let's get grounded.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to tell them some meals that I ate and some exercise that I did and some breathing practices and some sleep routine.
I love how she keeps it so simple.
Because I think the only way you can be successful in weight loss is if you keep it simple and practical and logical.
Yeah, and also you
got Mom get a little different.
You got to change it up too. I'm not drinking wine, I promise. This is chlorophyll.
Love you so much.
I mean, this is probably way more interesting than the video that we planned to visit.
That's true. So that's Mom's way of losing 20 pounds in a month. Maybe you could give us can you give us 3 meals, a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner that you would make?
So in autumn, I'd love to have steamed apples with kabocha squash and whole herbs like cinnamon and mace and nutmeg and cloves. And I love to top that with some coconut milk or some almond milk. And ginger. I forgot about ginger. She's totally making fun of me. And you love this breakfast. And you mostly love the way it smells.
And taste, but it smells amazing. The whole house smells like fall in a cup.
So yeah.
In a living room.
Yes. And then I will usually have some tea. And sometimes I'll have like an adaptogenic elixir, like a latte, so to say, with herbs like shataravri or ashwagandha or rose or cardamom. Like I'll just strategically use a number of different herbs, but in a latte form, and it's just glorious. Lunch will be a salad, usually at room temperature with a delicious sauce. Sometimes I'll make a nut or a seed pate in a small quantity, or I'll have braised vegetables with an herb, like lots of herbs. Oftentimes I'll have a soup, mostly for dinner. So that's kind of a way you could imagine the day, but everything is fresh and everything is in season and everything is just exquisite. Like it tastes like heaven.
That was one meal.
No, that's like the whole day. Like
okay.
Breakfast is just the braised squash with apples. Lunch is like a really nice, microgreen salad with a beautiful dressing, and then dinner is soup.
Can you touch on the satiation tip?
Yeah, so on certain days of the week, I eat to 80% satiation, meaning like I'm just about full, but I can still breathe easily. And when I started to practice this, it was feeling like I was gasping for air. Like I couldn't, like I had to take a freight train that was going at 1,000 miles an hour and try to stop it. And it was challenging because what I noticed was I was rushing so much when I was eating that I just wasn't even paying attention to how full I was. It was just like, get the food, get it now, get it in, and get it done. But when you're practicing this observation of satiation, you have to reflect and slow down. And then you have to also be honest, which sometimes is very disappointing. I'm not going to be, sugarcoating this, because it's like, I'm already full. This tastes so good. I want to finish it. I want more. And so then slowly you start to detach from the need to have more. And then other days we're at 50%, other days we're at 30%, and other days we're at 70%. So it's like this practice. And at first it can be challenging, but the way it works, you're ready for it. And your observation, like you're tuned into like the observation of it. So you can take a little bit of distance. And then it gets to be really shocking. Because on like day 6 or 7, you're like, I actually don't need as much as I thought I did. So you're buying less, you're eating less, you're feeling satiated, and then all of a sudden you have this rise of energy. You're sleeping more deeply, you're more in tune. It's like amazing.
Great. That's her way of doing it. No, this is my way of doing it, okay? It's a little different than that because I'm not into all that, but it's definitely interesting. So I'm all about the 75% satiation rule. I love to be a little bit hungry after meals. That's like the best way to lose 20 pounds in a month that I've experienced. So that when I was eating till 75% full or even 60%, that's how I knew I was good. And it's really, really healthy to do that. It's not unhealthy to be 60% full or satiated because you're not actually full. And our stomachs can only hold 6 cups of food, which I find just so fascinating because I see people, and I used to do this when I was 220 pounds, eating 10 cups of food, and you feel sick. And sometimes you don't even realize you feel sick because your leptin receptors have been damaged so much. So as someone who used to damage their leptin receptors all the time and is still recovering from that, it's a really great healing practice for me because we don't need as much as we think we do. And I keep hearing people talk about this, and they say, like, eat more fiber and eat less. Eat less food, eat more fiber, and you'll be good.
But when someone says that to me, I just get angry. I don't like it when someone says that to me.
Well, that's funny because something that is really important when you're trying to lose weight in any aspect of life is you focus less on food and more on life. So that's really important. And it's something I'm still working on today. But what I realize is when I'm losing the most weight, 20 pounds a month, 30 pounds a month, whatever it may be, I don't care so much about food. Like, it's not on my mind 24/7. I'm not in an addictive mode. I'm not like, oh, I can't wait for this meal. I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm moving a lot. I'm like really, really mindful about when I'm sitting and why I'm sitting and how much I've been sitting that day. Because we don't realize that we've become such a sedentary population. And I lately even have been prioritizing 10 to 12,000 steps a day, walking as much as I can, standing as much as I can. Walking after meals has really helped you and I both lose a lot more weight because we're lowering our glucose spikes after meals. And then, yes, eating more fiber. Fiber is my number one focus on every meal. And that keeps me really satiated for a really long time. And it's like natural OZEMPIC. Really, it is.
For sure.
And studies have even talked about that.
Absolutely. I think that you and I both have lost 20 pounds in a month by not eating. We've done like 500 calories a day. We've done all kinds of radical, I've done master cleanses, juice fasts. I've done all kinds of like deprivation of not eating. And so I want to emphasize what you and I are talking about here. We're like, eat 3 meals a day.
Yeah.
Even have snacks.
Yeah.
But just lighten it up.
And walk more, and move more, exercise more.
And ride your hunger and tune into your energy.
And drink more water. We mistaken hunger for thirst all the time. And it's something you really introduced me to when I was 320 pounds. You said, are you hungry or are you thirsty?
Or are you bored?
Or am I bored? You know yesterday how much water I drank? I drank like 4 or 5 of these. Maybe that's not normal, but my body maybe just needed it.
Some days I'm way more thirsty, especially when I'm in my cycle. I'm definitely thirstier.
Oh, my cycle.
Yeah, so that makes sense because your body's like trying to, yeah.
But fun water, and I ate less yesterday, and that was a big thing. So losing 20 pounds I've done without having to starve myself while eating, but eating less, moving more. And it sounds simple, but when we're really addicted to foods, when we're addicted to processed foods, it can be challenging.
It is challenging, but also your metabolism needs to be stoked, the fire of your metabolism.
And you need to be busy and out of the kitchen as much as you can.
Well, yeah, I think it's a commitment. I mean, for me also, losing 20 pounds in a month has to do with good sleep.
That's so important.
Sweating, walking, sleeping. Like, these are not emphasized enough in this conversation around weight loss, sleep times. You and I take it for granted because we just do it, but a lot of people are up till midnight, 1, 2 in the morning on their phones, doing things, Netflix, whatever they're doing. And it's really, really valuable if you want to lose weight to get quality sleep.
And sun. Getting sunlight. Being in the sun. Even if the sun isn't shining and you think, oh, it's cloudy, there's no sun outside, go outside because you are still getting sun when you're outside.
This is how you stoke the fire of your metabolism. Believe it or not, you ignite the mitochondria, you optimize the functioning of the mitochondria by exposing it to light. Also, in the Ayurvedic system that this restorative cleanse comes from, they suggest that if you're having a weight loss issue, if you're having excess weight, it's a symptom of your kapha, which is a type of constitution. If you wake up after 6, you are causing more weight gain. So waking up at 6 or before 6 is really important for weight loss.
That's probably really hard for people to hear, but it's something you and I are really strict on for 2 reasons. Maybe yours is that reason, but my reason really being I want to get my health and my fitness and my movement in before the day starts. Not because I'm not going to move all day, because my intense movement, my sacred time for myself and my self-care is between, it's crazy, 4 and 8 a.m. And that's like my time. Like, I'm not interrupted. Nobody's awake. It's so quiet. I can get all my things done. I can take care of my hair and my physical body, and I can exercise and move in a beautiful way that it's interrupted. And I have a feeling that if you try to start doing this, you will experience a similar quietness in your home, even if you have kids.
I've led hundreds of people through the restorative cleanse, and I don't necessarily expect everyone to do everything that I recommend. Some people do only that one thing where they wake up by 6 and they sleep by 9:30, and it totally changes their life.
And women actually need between 8 and 9 hours.
I know I do.
9 hours of sleep is like my sweet spot.
8 hours is my sweet spot. Now, I know not everyone has the ability to do that because they're either working late or their kids wake up at 4 a.m.
They have 2 jobs.
I mean, you woke up very early, Penelope, all throughout your childhood. But pretty much every day, where did you find me when you were growing up?
Doing yoga.
Pretty much every day. She would hang on me. So it definitely changes throughout your life cycle, what happens between, more early morning hours. But just the idea of waking up, whether you're working out or you're in prayer or meditation or you're doing laundry, like, it's going to make a huge difference. And it's kind of a subtle thing that most people don't think about, but the Ayurvedic system of medicine has been around for thousands of years. We just don't know about it so much in our country.
So to summarize, in summary, if you're somebody who has a hard time listening to long conversations, in summary.
Is she pointing the finger at me?
In summary, move more, exercise before 8 a.m., try to get 8 hours of sleep, and try to wake up by 6 a.m. or before.
And get back to nature.
Get back to nature.
Whole foods that are ripe, in season, organic, eat fresh food.
Get outside, cloudy or sunny, go outside.
And pay attention to when you're full and try to stop before then and see how your energy will stabilize after a few days.
And try to get off your phone as much as you can.
Definitely get into nature.
When you spend more time in nature, you start to realize how small the things on your phone are and the world we live in. You start to realize how small the world we live in is and how beautiful and how little time we have left on this earth when you go outside. So.
And we want your future to be bright and hopeful and full of health and freedom. And so we'd love to hear how you're doing on your weight loss journey, what you might have done to lose 20 pounds in a month, because my goodness, we've tried a lot of things. And we'd love to learn more about you. So please comment below with your favorite way to lose, to at least 10 pounds in a month. It's absolutely possible. That's a healthy one. We just happened to lose 20 pounds this spring, which was pretty exciting.
Super exciting. Yeah. We're looking for 12 women who are interested in changing their lives and their lifestyles once and for all, who are interested in losing the weight once and for all without diets, injections, or pills or procedures. If you're a woman who's willing to make the next step and who's ready for change and ready to say yes to their health and yes to vitality and yes to energy, click the link in the description below. And don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And comment down below your favorite tip for losing weight.